Hello YouTube, it's Michael here. I'm doing my fifth rare Wii games video, and I'm really focusing on the 7th generation right now. And the reason I'm focusing on that is because games are so plentiful and so cheap, and it's really easy to find these games. And none of these games are particularly rare right now. There are a handful of legitimately rare games for the 7th generation. But it's one of those things, like, this is around the same time I started collecting for the PS2 when it was going out. You know, it was kind of late in the cycle and stuff. And that's how I obtained such a great PS2 collection. And I actually got that PS2 collection for really, really cheap. Especially for what some of these games go for now. So I'm just trying to share with you guys on my thoughts on these games that I'm picking up and why I'm picking them up. And I'm telling you, like, I know I do a lot of 7th generation stuff, but 7th generation really, none of it's really considered rare yet. And that's why I'm focusing on that stuff. 6th generation and below, people know it's rare. People know it's collectible. So people that keep on doing videos about that stuff, it's kind of repetitious. You know, you tend to know what to look for as a collector after you watch a couple of videos. So that's why I'm focusing mainly on my 7th generation stuff. 8th generation is going to be an interesting generation to collect for, and I'm not sure yet how that's going to turn out. So, but I'll get to that when the PS4 gets a little bit older, when the Xbox One, the Wii U. I've already touched on the Wii U a little bit. But this is my Wii stuff. I've picked up, I always pick up about 15 games or so before I do another video, so let's get into this here. The first game, again, this is all alphabetical. The first game I'm showing is called Counterforce, and I've picked this up, put it down multiple times. So I'm not going to say this game is that hard to find. What's funny about Wii games, I can always go into a video game store and find a Wii game I've never seen, never heard of, and that's because there's over 1,500 games for the Nintendo Wii, and probably more than half of it's shovelware. But someone told me this was a decent game, and that's why I decided to pick it up. It was 99 cents, and it's hard to beat a complete 7th gen game that I've been told is a good game for 99 cents. So that's why I picked it up. I'm going to say it's probably maybe lower on the uncommon scale, but I'll probably say it's pretty common. This next game I picked up because it was a Nintendo published IP called Endless Ocean Blue World. From what I've seen, it reminds me of Everblue 2 for the PlayStation 2, except less treasure hunty and more like sea exploration. It wasn't complete. It was actually a little more expensive than what I normally like to put into Wii titles. I think it was $8. So if that tells you anything, you know, I don't like to spend a lot of money on some of these games. Some of them you have to, some of the really rare ones, but looks like this one was published by Akira and published by Nintendo, developed by Akira. And I'm not sure about this game. I'm going to say this is probably definitely uncommon, so I don't see it that often. That's why I picked it up, hoping to find it complete one day. So this next game is called Furro Clark. It's a Tato kind of collection, kind of like in the same vein as the NES Remix Pack for the Wii U. It's got a bunch of different like mini games based on Tato games. If you know anything about Tato, they publish stuff like Bubble Bobble. They did other stuff too, but that's really what I know them for. It's kind of a party game. This was $1, and this is one of those games that I've probably seen disc only or something, but it's the first time I've really seen it complete, in good condition, not all stickered up, and it was, like I said, it was $1. That's why I picked it up. It looks interesting, especially since I like games like Bubble Bobble and I like old classics, so this is kind of a throwback game. I'm not sure about this game either, but I have to think this is kind of uncommon, because it's not exactly shovelware, and it's from well-known, at least well-known games a little bit, so. And this next game I've actually picked up because I heard is kind of a hidden gem, and that's called The Core Gang Outvasion from Inner Earth, published by Atari. Looks like it was developed by like Rombax Games or Pixelots. But it was $1, and I heard good things about it, so that's why I picked it up. Don't see it again that often, but I can go into any game store, GameStop, Vintage Game Store, flea markets, and normally find games that I've never seen for the Nintendo Wii. So, but I have not personally put it in, but I have seen gameplay and stuff. It looks interesting. So if you're looking for a decent, cheap game for the Wii, I'd definitely pick up this. Alright. This next game I picked up was also $1. Now, I do believe they made this for PlayStation 2 as well. I do not have the PlayStation 2 version. It's kind of why I picked this up. And it's published by Eidos. It's called Monster Lab. It wasn't complete, but again, it was $1. I'm not sure how good it is. From what I gathered, you just create monsters. I'm not sure if you can fight them or anything, but it's kind of got an interesting premise. If anyone knows anything more about this game, let me know. But I have not researched much about this game. But it was one of those dollar games. This was also a $1 game, but this was also on a Hidden Gems list. That's why I picked it up. Called Mushroom Men, The Spore Wars. Published by South Peak Games. South Peak does some interesting stuff sometimes. It was complete, it was $1, and it was on a Hidden Gems video. Again, it's kind of hard not to buy it. It's so cheap and it looks interesting, and from what I've seen, it's actually not shovelware. So, and I actually don't see this game that often. I actually think it's becoming a little bit collectible now, so keep an eye out for it. Alright, this next game was another cheap game, but I think it was like $3 maybe. And it's a Nintendo published IP called The Mystery Case Files, The Malgrave Incident. It looks like a mystery game. They made a lot of mystery games for the Nintendo Wii, like point and click mystery games, you know, you figure out what happened. And this looks more interesting than some of them. I know Agatha Christie had a bunch of them. There's some more. There's probably like 10 or 12 different like mystery games for the Nintendo Wii. So, but I picked this one up because it was a Nintendo IP and it was like $3. So, don't see it that often, but again, like I say, there's always games that I don't see at game stores. So, Nintendo Wii is going to be an interesting system to collect for, and see what happens with some of these games down the road. Some of the really, really rare games are completely crap games. I know there's a racing developer that had like 5 games that are all terrible, and they're really rare. And then you have stuff like Men's Academy, which isn't even in GameStop's game catalog, so you're not going to find that game at GameStop. And there's stuff like El Chavo, which was a Mexican-only game. It might have been in South America as well, but I think it's mainly a Mexican game. I actually looked on Netflix and they had it's an old TV series, and there's other stuff like French Chess, which isn't a terrible game, but it's just a chess game. And My Horse and Me, there's just some terrible rare Wii games. So, and it's weird because I'm not sure I want to collect those games even though they're rare. But anyway, this next game I picked up, it's called Namco Museum Megamix. There's a what is it? A remix, and this is the Megamix. The Megamix is supposed to be the better version, from what I'm told. It's got 24 mixed up versions of different Namco games. I'm not sure if the full games are unlockable or not, but I picked this up for $3 at like a flea market or something, and that's why I bought it. I think it's like 15 bucks at GameStop. So if you can find it for cheap, I'd pick it up. It's not one of those games like I was actively looking for, but it was, it's weird. I found a bunch of these Namco, like Namco collections recently. I think I found like 3 or 4 of them for 2 or 3 different systems. So go figure. All right, this next game I picked up is called Shonen Jump Naruto Shippuden Dragon Blade Chronicles. There's a ton of Naruto games. I'm not sure about this one. It was in really good shape. And I think it was $1. That's why I picked it up. I'm not huge on the Naruto universe. Don't know a lot about it. I know it's got a loyal fan base. And I actually don't know the collectability market of Naruto games. So if anyone would like to share that, go ahead and post that in comments. This next game I picked up is called Oblivion The Aftermath. This was actually released on the PlayStation 2 as well. It's a direct sequel to the survival horror game, which is pretty interesting in its own right, called Obscure. It's actually pretty rare for the PlayStation 2, but I never picked this up for PlayStation 2, and this was $1, so that's why I picked it up. This didn't get very good ratings, so I know it's not as good as the first Obscure, but I kind of wonder how it holds up as a overall survival horror game. So. On this next game, I kind of was embarrassed to take up to the register, but it was $1. It's called Calvin Tucker's Redneck Jamboree, and it's got 12 redneck-inspired events. It's published by Zoo. That's a horrible redneck. I used to do a pretty good redneck voice, but this looks like shovelware to me, and I don't see it that often. I'm not gonna say it's become collectible or rare or anything down the road, but it's just kind of one of those cheap games I decided to pick up. So I think it's funny. I've not put it in, but I think just from the cover, it's a very funny looking game to me. Excuse me. I picked this one up too because it was $1. It's called Ultimate Board Game Collection. And you've got like checkers, you've got chess, you got Othello, backgammon, really, really simple board type games. So it was $1. I decided to pick it up because I don't know, I enjoy board games. I don't own most of these board games, so if I want to play it with somebody, I can. I have the ability to, and it was cheap. So I picked up this game because it was cheap as well. It was also $1. It's called Wicked Monsters Blast, published by Valcon. Not Valcon like the Yeez, which is a developer, but Valcon, like they're conning you out of your money. I have to think this is shovelware, but it actually looks more Japanese and more interesting than most shovelware games. It's kind of why I picked it up. So, kind of looks like a party game. It's got some puzzle elements to it. So. And then I bought a bunch of doubles. I've been working on my doubles for my Nintendo Wii because it's super, super cheap. This stuff's super cheap. I got another copy of the Conduit. Very, very cool first-person shooter for the Wii, only on the Wii. So that's why I picked that up. I also picked up doubles of, let's go ahead and take them out. Destroy All Humans, Big Willie Unleashed. The first two, Destroy All Humans, were good. Anything after that kind of sucked. I did pick up another copy of Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templar. It's not an RPG, it's an adventure game for your people out there. And I picked up another copy of Overlord Dark Legend. I actually heard the motion controls were pretty good for this. And I picked up another copy of Fire Emblem, so Radiant Dawn. So I've got four copies of Fire Emblem. I picked this one up for $40. I'll buy any copy of pretty much any Fire Emblem game for $40 or under. So as you can see, it's actually a really collectible game, but in my eyes, not very rare. So. Oh, I actually don't know if I showed this before, but I was really happy to pick this up. I picked this up before I went to Miami Comic Con, and that's Super Mario All-Stars Limited Edition. It's in really, really good shape. I'm not going to take it all out, but it's complete. It's got the soundtrack, it's got the history book, it's got the game with the manual. It's in near mint condition. I think I paid $40. I managed to buy this for $40 on eBay. So if you can pick it up for $40, it's a pretty good deal. It's got some decent games on it. So, and this is very collectible now. Actually, I remember buying a box of these. Like, I think I bought 10 of them for 10 bucks a piece from a manufacturing company. I'm not going to say who, but it was not a like first party Nintendo manufacturing company. It was from a retailer, but I know they still had limited quantities of these, and I used to sell them for $20. They're now going for, you can, like I said, you can pick it up between $40 and $50. But I would add it to your collection sooner than later, because I think it's one of those games that's going to have a higher scalping price for it, because it's a Nintendo IP, it's a Mario game. People think these Mario games are worth, you know, your firstborn and your kidney. So pick it up now before you're paying $100 for it, you know, in a couple of years. So, and I believe that's it. That's it for my Nintendo Wii games that I picked up recently. Again, the Wii's going to be hard to judge what's collectible. You know, there's a well-known group of about 40 games that people know are pretty good, pretty collectible, but I'm just not interested in getting some of the shovelware, even though I picked up stuff like Redneck Jamboree. But anyway, I appreciate the views. I'm actually having I know there's like Ultimate Shooting Collection, Dreamcast Collection for the 360. I've been looking for it for a long time. There's definitely more games that I've been looking for that I can't find. So I'm always looking for suggestions, man. And anyone that posts a collection video that's a subscriber to me, just let me know. And I'll check it out and I'll comment on it. I like watching collection videos. I don't care who they are. I don't care if you have 10 games or if you have 1,000 games. So let me know and I'll check out your collection video, because I'm always looking for new games to add to my collection. And there's always something I can learn from somebody else. So just let me know. Let me know in the comments if there's something glaring that's missing from my collection that you think I should get. And I appreciate all the support and everyone that's stuck around. And I'll be doing more videos here soon. So check me out next time, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.